All right, we are live. We are doing a nice little schedule breakdown. NFL schedule releases at 8 p.m. tonight, but thanks to Twitter sleuths everywhere, we already have the Patriots 2021 schedule leaked. Shout out at NFL_Dove Kleiman for being the one to officially leak it. We were kind of piecing it together already, and then he came out with the entire thing. So Brian, how you doing today?
Ryan, hello, sir. It's the last big quote-unquote event, right? Until training camp, pretty much. It's an event that we've made. It's a completely fabricated, out of thin air event.
It's the number one NFL event that I don't understand, but then I consume all the content anyway, like the pay pig that I am.
Spags mixing it up early already. We are already. You know what? What are we going to do about these trolls that find their way in here?
Man, are you implying that Mac Jones wasn't QB1? Because I have a certain display name that will, shut down any notion of that. All right,
that is for an entirely different live stream, sir.
Let's keep this short and sweet. So
yes,
the schedule got leaked. We'll kind of do a rundown. I'm not just going to read off every single one, but we'll do a rundown at the end with our predictions, and that's where we'll kind of group together. Do you have any quick thoughts from just the way it was structured? My first one is that it's a pretty regular schedule. There's nothing really other than the late bye, nothing too complain worthy.
Nothing crazy. It's just the late bye just takes you by surprise, but is it that much more extreme than a week 11 or 12 bye on a 16 game schedule? Probably not. We were talking about it just before we got on about the little breaks that are kind of built in there when you have that Thursday nighter on week 11.
Yeah,
Atlanta.
That's what we were mentioning. It's so you start off with a pretty standard schedule, a whole bunch of Sunday games, a prime time against Brady on week 4 in the mix, but it's, your first 10 weeks are all Sunday games. And then that turns into a Thursday leading into another Sunday. So you get the 10-day break from the Thursday game. Yeah. That Sunday leads into a Monday. So you get an 8-day break. That Monday leads into your bye. So you're getting a 12, 13-day break until your week 15 game against the Colts, which could be on a Saturday or Sunday. Right. So if you get that Saturday game, you're going, you don't have an extended break for the first half of the season really, but then you're going 10-day break, 8-day break, 12-day break, 8-day break again. So
right, it's not bad.
Yeah, they kind of work. They get lucky even in a situation where they got screwed a little bit.
It's probably this is probably preferential than a week 5 bye,
right?
Where you burn it early, and next thing you know, it's a grind when you get down deep into that 17 week 18. That's another thing that originally jumped off at me. I was like, what? Week 18.
I've seen everyone's record predictions where it's like 11-6 or 12-5.
Right.
It's driving me nuts.
Or as I'm going down and looking through it and trying to tabulate like a quick win-loss, I'm like, hold on, I got a weird number here. Did I skip one? What's going on here? All right, right off the bat, they're probably going 16-0, right?
Well, 17-0. I mean, you just did it. It's 17-0. Easy.
Stream's canceled.
There's simply no way that they lose to any team in the league. How could they possibly? That just doesn't happen. I've never seen them lose a game in 2021. That's just a fact.
Yeah, they're going to have to show us it's possible first.
Right. Exactly.
Is how I look at it. Let's talk about it then. Let's go down the schedule. They're going to wax Miami at home week 1.
Yeah,
there's zero chance they don't.
We know exactly how the Miami series is already going because we've seen it every season for the past 20 years. We know exactly how it's going to go.
Yeah.
So Miami week 1, as we talk about it, I'll list the time, TV, the date, all that. So
start off regular season. Automatically, then we can say they are losing week 18.
Yes. Correct. Yes. So they open and close the season against Miami. They get the home game early, the road game late. It's exactly what they win and lose every single year.
Yeah. So we're 1-1.
Yeah,
and we're working from the bottom up and the top down.
And for those who would like to contradict us saying that we just said they're going undefeated, that last game is in 2022. They're not going to lose in 2021. 2022, correct. Different story. We can't predict.
Correct.
All right,
so I was correct. 16-0.
Yeah. So week 1, September 12th is a Sunday, home against the Dolphins. You get a 4:25 start. My favorite slot personally, and that's going to be on CBS. So I think we both think that's going to be a win.
Yeah.
I think Miami's improved, but not to the point where they're going to take both off you. And if we're going to predict that, obviously, we're going to take the home one.
And you avoid the Will Fuller suspension. So you
Correct.
don't have to
no
face
Will Fuller. That's
which is nice.
Great point. Week 2, September 19th, so another Sunday at the New York Jets, 1 p.m. on CBS. I have that as a win as well. It'll be Zach Wilson's first home start.
Yes, sir.
We know how Bill does historically against rookie QBs. This defense should be significantly improved. So I would anticipate Zach Wilson having a tough time there.
So right off the bat,
yeah,
you're talking 2-0. There's now officially there's hype.
Right.
There's big time, and it's 2-0.
You're breathing a little bit after the way that this past season went. You're kind of resetting your expectations a little bit.
There is now going to be dumb narratives all over the place. That I'm excited about.
Yeah.
I'm excited about dumb narratives that obviously you're not going to build much. There's nothing really concrete to go off of with, home win against Miami, and then you beat a team you're supposed to beat on the road in the Jets, as you always do. But I'm here for all the dumb narratives. Week 3, hosting New Orleans and Jameis
Taysom. This was an interesting one to me. So it's another Sunday game, another 1 p.m. game. This one will be on Fox. And I went back and forth on this one. I have it as a win. I just don't have. I think that the Saints defense, they were historically mediocre to terrible for a long time. Then they got pretty good, and I think they're kind of on that backslide again. Mike Thomas had the worst year of his career. That QB situation just makes no sense to me. I think James is a solid player, but
yeah,
I have a lot more faith in what the Patriots are doing, especially at home there, than the Saints. So that's a close one. That's one of those kind of swing games on the season. They win that one, they're 3-0 heading into the Brady game. Now buzz is really building. They lose that one. It's like, really okay, let's reset it a little bit.
So I'm going to go L here.
You're going to go L?
Because I've got we come down a little bit off of the 2-0 hype. I think you've got Sean Payton, Bill Belichick. That's going to be fun. I think they can do and that defense in New Orleans is a little underrated in my opinion. Okay. You gotta drop some, and hey, if you're gonna drop one, doing it to the Saints isn't the worst.
And I know where you're going with this next one, so this makes a little bit of sense too. So week 4, the game everyone's gonna care about for this year, October 3rd at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sunday Night Football on NBC. Tom Brady's return, obviously. I know where you're going with this one, so I'll be the stinker to get out of the way. This is an L. I mean, they were the best team in the league last year. By the end of the season, they retained their entire core. And I honestly think that there's a good portion of Patriots fans who are going to be rooting for the Bucs in this game. I think that they would want Tom Brady to stick to the Patriots. I won't be one of them, but I think that that's going to be a very split game that I think the Patriots lose. I think it'll be competitive. I think they lose.
All right, here's what I think. I think Tom Brady, very excited to have him back. Come on back, Tom. We'll do a nice standing O for you. You can do all the bulletin board material, and then on your way out of the stadium, go ahead and hold that L, sir. Hold it and take it back with you to Tampa and chill on it. Because last I checked, the worst week of Tom Brady's career every year, it's always week 4 on the road against the coach that knows the hell out of his game. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. It's a stone cold lock, book it, Patriots. Hand Tom Brady that L in week 4.
Here's what I'll say, though. I don't know if you saw I think Rap Sheet might have tweeted it. If you just kind of look at like a reasonable pace, week 4 would be the game he potentially passes Drew Brees for the all-time passing yards record. I want that to happen. Win or loss in the game, I want him to break the record in Foxborough.
I could not. There's literally nothing that could possibly happen this year that I could care less about than the all-time passing yardage record. I forgot about the old record.
Completely fair, because he's going to have even when he gets it, he's going to have it for like 7 years, and then Mahomes is going to pass it on his way to like 150,000
yards. Like cool, neat, nice job. All right, so we both are at 3-2 again.
3-1. Yeah.
Well, 3-2 for those just tuning in. We're already automatic loss in week 18.
You're right.
At Houston, dub.
Yep. Houston's arguably going to be the worst team in the league this year without their own first round pick, so that's a fun situation for them. If Deshaun plays, we're not going to dig into the Deshaun stuff. If he plays, obviously, then maybe their ceiling's a tiny bit higher, but they're bad either way. So October 10th, that's at 1 p.m. on CBS, another Sunday game. Leads into another Sunday game at home against the Cowboys. My favorite time slot again, 4:25 on CBS. This is another big toss-up. So we're both 4-2 now because the Texans should be an easy win. Cowboys, what are we thinking here?
Man,
this is a big swing game in my opinion.
Man, I tell you what. I'm going to go dub because
Okay.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced about what Dallas has done on the other side of the football. Their offense is going to be filthy.
Yep.
We know that, but I'm not convinced that they have gotten stout enough. And with the switch to Dan Quinn's 3-4, yeah, I'm not convinced. And I want to hold some of these L's for later on other games. I think they take. I think it's going to be a nail biter. I think they take down Dallas. I'm going to go with the dub.
This is a big swing game. I'm going to go loss. I think Dallas's offense is going to be the best in the league this year. Obviously Kansas City always has to be in that mix, but I think Dallas is my pick for best offense in the league this year. I think that they're going to end up really good. I don't know what their schedule looks like, so I don't want to place a record on them, but I think that they're going to be really good with Dak back. So I'm going to go loss there. Not an embarrassing loss, not something that you need to feel too terrible about. But I'll go loss there. Leads us into.
I'm at 5-2. You're at 4-3 here.
Yeah.
Not panic mode by any means. Right. 4-3, but
again, just to continue to combat confusion, we're already counting Week 18 as a loss here. So 4-2 Correct. To this point of the season. Another loss that we know is coming. Jets. Week 7, October 24th, Sunday game again, 1 p.m. CBS. You get both Jets games out of the way early, which I think is good because if the Jets are going to be halfway decent this year, it's going to come later in the year as Zach Wilson gets comfortable. I'm taking this as another W. I think that the Jets are still going to be one of the not worst, but bottom 10 teams in the league, and I think there's no excuse not to take both, especially where this one's at home.
As we're writing the narrative of this season, I am going with a W here as well, but I think it's going to be a sloppy W where all of Patriots the fans, the media, everybody considers it a loss. It's oh, what is wrong with this team? They're 5-3 now, or 5-2, or 6-2 in my projection, 5-3 in yours.
Yep.
But what's going on? The train's on. It's getting a little rickety. And then they go on the road to LA.
And this, in my opinion, the other note to the schedule is they don't have any long home or road stands. It's all at most 2 games at a time. This, in my opinion, is the toughest stretch where we were just at home to the Jets, go across to LA, come back at Carolina, go back home for a game to Cleveland, and then come down Thursday Night Football against Atlanta. I think if you're looking for a rough stretch, this is it right here. This is also where, typical bye weeks are starting to come in. So you're starting to maybe feel that effects of not having one yet. This is going to be an interesting stretch. Again, starting off Sunday game, 4:05 p.m. on CBS against the Chargers in LA.
W.
I'm going to go L again. I think Justin Herbert's about to take a big leap. They got Rashawn Slater in the draft to kind of shore up that line a little bit. They didn't really lose much offensively other than Hunter Henry. Obviously going to come here. Revenge game. Revenge game. Maybe I even take that back, but I'll stick with the L. They replaced him with Jared Cook. I think that they're the Chargers still, so it's not going to result in a playoff win, but they're going to be pesky. I think this is another swing game. I'll go L though. Because if I don't, then I think my record is going to look a little lopsided here.
It could get out of control. Yeah. That's fair. I'm going to go with the W because Herbert. I mean, if he takes another step forward, he's the MVP of the league.
Right.
I don't see that much of a step forward he can take.
Yeah. He also had a lot of unsustainable success where he succeeded last year. A lot of it was unsustainable.
And they went in there and they took care of business. Correct. Easily their most impressive win of the season.
That's what's holding them up is that it's the Chargers. They don't lose to the Chargers. It's just a team that you can never take seriously, no matter what state either of those organizations are in. They just beat the Chargers. So you know what? Flip it for me. I'm going to go W.
We're going to flip it.
Give me a W.
We're also, it's big time dependent on what uniforms the Chargers want to go with.
This is true.
That's a big factor here.
Absolutely.
We will go with the W. We've got you at 6-3. I am at 7-2. Mr. Optimistic over here.
Yeah, look at Brian.
Be careful.
That pivot that was made this year. All right. Week 9. Week 9, another Sunday game, November 7th at the Carolina Panthers, 1 p.m. on CBS. This is a W for me.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Yes, that should be one of the easier games of the year as well. Sam Darnold, we know Sam Darnold. We made Sam Darnold see ghosts, right? In Sam Darnold's particularly unsuccessful career, there's never been a team he struggled more against than the Patriots.
Right.
I don't have stats to back that up, but I'd be shocked if it isn't true. So No fear put into me at all by the Carolina.
I like what
correct Super Cam revenge game.
Exactly.
Assuming
That's
he's still starting by this point in the year. Which if they're 6-3, 7-2, he is absolutely still starting.
Again,
at this point in the year.
Different stream. Listen. I like what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball, adding, going early picks up, Burns and Brown.
J.C. Horn, one of our favorite players in the draft, both of us.
They've got a nice core.
Yep,
they got a nice core.
They're building.
It's good.
If they took Justin Fields, I love J.C. Horn. If they took Justin Fields, I'm a lot more scared of this team. Not saying that.
No, correct. So we move on.
Yep, Cleveland Browns, another Sunday game. Again, 10th straight Sunday game, 1 p.m. CBS, November 14th at home. This is another swing one.
Here's where I'm going to go L.
Okay.
Because I think Cleveland is going to be pretty adept at playing the game that New England wants to play these days, which is the ability to run the football, control the clock, and I mean, guys, I can't really make them go undefeated here. I mean, I got to take an L somewhere. And Cleveland's good. They were really solid last year. I think they can take a small step forward this next year. And again, the last time they played them at home, it was that nasty downpour game. Same thing with Dallas. Nasty downpouring, sleet, sideways, freezing rain. If they get that again, I think it goes in the Browns' favor this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go W. This is I highlighted a few swing games that I thought were true toss-ups: the Chargers, the Browns, and one that we'll still get to here. I just think that with the amount that Bill had to watch teams just shove it down his throat running the ball last year, and the steps he took to make sure that never happens again, you're going against like one of the three like rushing teams in the league right now. It's think of rushing right now, it's the Patriots, the Browns, and the Titans. So I think that I'm honestly, I'm going to contradict myself here in a couple of weeks, but I don't think that they lose to the Browns here. I think that the Cleveland defense isn't in great shape, but I think that they'll pull that out.
All right, so we're officially on a heater here.
Absolutely,
an absolute 5-game heater. But again, with the narrative that we came up with, it doesn't feel like a heater. Sure doesn't when you're 5-3 coming off a sloppy win against the Jets. And what's going on with this team? Next thing you know, you're 8-3. All is well.
There's still rumblings for Mac Jones right now because people don't believe that this is for real. Is
correct.
The type of wins we're pulling out the past few weeks.
That is exactly what's going to happen.
Okay, first non-Sunday game. November 18th, Thursday night at Atlanta.
Now just to correct it, you're the team on the heater right now. I'm the one because you changed your Chargers pick, but I do have them losing to Cleveland at home, and I think the quick turnaround going down to Atlanta and an offense is going to be absurd. Should be fairly absurd this year. Right. If this is in Foxborough, I'm going New England, but I'm going to go with the L. Live on Amazon here.
I think that's completely fair. Road games on Thursday Night Football have historically been tough, even when the road team is much better. I think the Falcons will be fun this year. I don't think they're going to be good this year. They're going to have a good offense, and I don't think the Patriots should have a good offense this year. I don't think they have an explosive enough offense to take care of where Atlanta's weaknesses are going to be. I think this is a perfectly fine upset pick to take the Falcons here. I'm going to stick with the Patriots. Just because I think ultimately, one, the Falcons don't win tough games. Two, the offense is still – I think the Patriots defense is good enough to have answers for the Falcons offensively. So I'll trust – if you're going strength on strength and weakness on weakness, I'll take the Patriots figuring out how to mask their weaknesses better.
I'm excited to see what Arthur Smith does with that squad, man. I'm excited to see all that new scheme in there, utilizing a guy like Kyle Pitts with Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. That's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be
absolutely
completely ridiculous.
I'm curious. They don't have a reliable run game right now. Their offensive line's okay.
Hey,
it's not
you take Mike. You put some respect on Mike Davis' name.
Mike Davis is going to be. I love Mike Davis too. He's going to need to be the guy though. So it'll be interesting to see how Arthur Smith handles that. Obviously, after coming from King Henry. So I've got that as a win. You've got that as a loss. It's a close one. 10-day break. Play the Titans on Sunday, November 28th, 1 p.m. CBS. This is where I'll take the L here. I initially had this as a W. Flipping the Chargers. I don't think that. I don't think that they're a team that's going to be ripping off 7-8 straight wins here. So I'll work it in here, even though I don't necessarily think that they're a worse team than the Titans. The Titans took a lot of hits this year. But you know my AJ Brown love. I'll ride with that. I'll ride, a couple Tanny to AJ Brown explosive plays, kind of flip it, defining this game.
I'm gonna go with dub. Jonnu revenge game.
Jonnu revenge game is
everything, just revenge game all over the place. I love the narrative.
I mean, they signed someone from every team in the league this year. It's just gonna be revenge games left and right.
You're going with the L, so we've got you at 9-4. Both of us 9-4.
All right. So again, just a reminder in case you're joining in late, that's 9-3 to this point in the year. Dolphins at the Dolphins week 18 auto loss. So you're looking at 9-3, which means you're talking about you're 12 weeks in, you're talking 1 seed right now still. Maybe the Chiefs are like 10-1 at this point or something like that, but you're in the mix for 1 seed still at this point. The Bills are probably somewhere in your range too, maybe 10-2, 9-3, 8-4, and you've still got both games coming up. So this is where the narrative for the rest of the season starts to get really interesting. Now we got Monday night, December 6th at the Bills, 8:15 on ESPN. This is an L for me.
Yeah, it's an L.
Yeah,
you can't. After what happened last year, it's tough to think that they could to be confident about their ability to go in and play that pretty much that same exact team.
Yeah,
and come out on top.
I'm a big believer in a Josh Allen regression year, but I still think he's solidified himself as good, even if he takes a step back. He's just gonna be like good and not MVP candidate, like second tier MVP candidate that he was last year. So reset us again for the bye. So now we're both 9-4 heading into the bye week.
9-4. No. Yes.
Yeah, 9-4 heading into the bye week, real time.
That's not bad. Now remember, Buffalo's got a slightly tougher schedule playing. They have the Chiefs on their schedule somewhere, correct?
Have the Chiefs, yep, because they both won the division.
So we can be looking at that's that parity coming in. That's how ridiculous what the Patriots did for so long.
Absolutely.
Playing those top teams in every division from the year before. Absurd.
Yep. And
this is parity. This is parity coming right back. The Bills theoretically should have a worse record just based on strength of schedule. So obviously if you're 9-4, you're going to be in a great position to do, you're going to be able to control your destiny with the rest of your games at this point, no matter what division you're in. But at Indy, Ryan, coming off the bye.
This is another toss-up.
Is Carson Wentz still the quarterback at this point? Is Jake Eason stepping in? Who knows what's going on out there? It's going to be gross.
This is a toss-up game for me just because the Colts are just outside of the quarterback position. The Colts are just good, but the quarterback position is so rough that it's really a game-by-game situation. I'm going to go win, but I don't feel great about it. And I'm only going win because, again, like the Chargers, they just don't lose to the Colts. Unless it's Peyton Manning doing Peyton Manning things, they just don't lose to the Colts.
I'm also going to say win because I think the Patriots are good.
I think they're good too.
At this point, it's confirmed good, right? Like you're 9-4 going into the bye. That's confirmed good. Maybe not as good as Buffalo because you just lost one in Buffalo. But if it was tight, which we expect it to be. We expect them to be competitive with Buffalo this year. The way they improved the roster with Cam with another year in the system, the expectations are they are somewhat close to Buffalo's level. Right. And that means you go in and you take care of business after a bye against the Colts.
Yeah. And then that leads us into the post-Christmas, December 26th, 1 p.m. CBS game against the Bills at home this time. You just talked about how you think you're close to the Bills now at this point. I still think they're a half step behind the Bills. I love what the Bills. I've loved what the Bills have done everywhere except for drafting Josh Allen, which they've proven me wrong about since the current regime took over. Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane. I've loved just about everything they've done. I think that they are still that half step above where the Patriots are like that playoff contender fringe. If something breaks right, can make make noise in the playoffs. I think the Bills are a legitimate Super Bowl threat this year. So I'm going to go loss here. I think they go 0-2 against the Bills. And now you're talking about you've lost 3 out of 4 on my schedule, losing to the Titans, Bills twice, and then beating the Colts. So the rails are starting to fall off a little bit, but you're still in the playoff hunt. You probably I would assume if you lose both the Bills, the division's out of play now, but you're still looking at one of those 3 wild card slots. You're probably pretty safely in there if you're looking at I think they'd be 9-10-5, where I have them right now. So you're probably still looking at pretty safely a wild card slot.
So we don't have the Bills' full schedule, do we?
We don't have the Bills' full schedule as far as I've seen.
Damn. I would love to know who the Bills are playing the week before this December 26th game. Because, Ryan, I'm going to switch course.
You switch course.
It's a dub, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Division lead dub.
Okay. Take the division lead. 2 weeks left.
A tough loss 3 weeks prior on Monday Night Football. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, just too much to handle on the final drive type of thing. 10-point victory against the Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
Here on December. A little post-Christmas gift. Let's go, baby.
Anyone watching knowing Brian as the negative Pat's Pulpit guy, take notes. He's done. He's a fraud.
Who is that guy?
Right.
Nobody knows who negative Brian is anymore. Let's go. All right. 11
one game left to pick, 2 games left on the schedule. You've got them at what, 11-4 so far?
Yes, sir.
If you don't include that Dolphins game, and I've got them at 10-5. So we got Trevor Lawrence, Jaguars, January 2nd, 1 p.m. on CBS. Sunday game again. That's a win to me. I think the Jaguars are in position to be like a mediocre team, and Trevor Lawrence, gets them going in the right direction. But I don't see it this year for them.
I don't know what's going on the other side of the football for them.
Right. They signed a ton of depth and still don't really have too many top-level stars. Joe Scobert was terrible last year.
Maybe Tim Tebow can play linebacker.
Yeah, switch him over. Make him an NFL street like tight end / linebacker.
Yeah.
Gross. Yeah, I don't love what they have going yet. I like what they're building. I didn't love their draft. They took a couple big swings though, so if it hits, this is like a defining draft. Like Walker Little, Andre Sisco were like potential first round picks that fell for various reasons. If they end up hitting, looks great. I didn't love Tyson Campbell. If he hits again, looks great. I think this is a 2023 team if things break right for them, not necessarily 2021. And then that wraps up at Miami Dolphins, January 9th, 1 p.m., a Sunday game again, and we already talked about a loss. So,
and then they're sitting their starters. They've clinched the division.
They've clinched the division for you. For me, they're looking at probably the 5 seed. They're probably looking at the 5 seed, fighting whoever manages to win that terrible AFC South. So that puts you at 12-5, me at 11-6, I believe.
12-5. It's never good. It's not gonna sound right to me for years. I'm gonna have trouble with this for years.
Yeah. Just in time for them to move it to 18 and it to look weird again.
Ryan, 12-5.
12-5.
Let's go. That's it's not first round bye, but with the seeding now how it is.
You probably get the 3 seed, maybe the 2 seed. Probably not good enough for the 1 seed, but you think the Chiefs will be in that like 14 win range? Maybe the Ravens bounce back a little bit. I liked what they did this offseason. The Browns could take another step. I think the AFC North is too competent for a team to really kind of run the table there. I think the AFC South is too bad for anyone there to stack wins outside of their division. So I think the Chiefs walk to the 1 seed here. I think the Bills probably have the 2 seed pretty comfortably again, unless the Patriots want to make noise with them. And then you look at the AFC North, the Patriots, the other AFC North. So you got like Ravens, Browns, Patriots in that tier behind.
I'm not comfortable writing off the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know.
I'll take the L. I am. They were bad last year. They were not good. They were the most fraudulent, undefeated team.
Their defense is still so good.
Their defense is solid. It's not great. It's good. It is good. I'll give you maybe even a so good. I will not give you a great. Ben Roethlisberger is done. And then they drafted a first-round running back and did not address the offensive line.
Oh, that's fair. All completely fair.
They are 8-9 if I've ever seen it.
If I'm just going to be honest, then I love Minka Fitzpatrick and I love Deontay Johnson, and it's an irrational thing with me. And I love Cam Hayward. It's fun to it.
Yeah, a really fun defense, good defense. We'll keep them in games at 8-9.
So who is the Patriots' first playoff? In my scenario, then, who are they facing in round 1? Hosting.
You look at, they're probably like I think 12-5 is a reasonable 3 seed estimate, right? So you're looking at like a 6 seed wild card team. So maybe so let's list the teams.
A Browns rematch?
I think we're comfortable saying the Chiefs are the 1 seed, right? Unless something goes wrong. And then we say We'll call the AFC North winner if we're giving you the 3 seed. Let's go 2 seed. Let's go 2 seed because I think the Bills take the 2 seeds, so we'll say we steal that from them.
We'll say Kansas City, New England, Baltimore.
Yep. And then AFC South, I don't know who I have winning that yet, but whoever it is, they're going to be like 9-8.
Let's call it Tennessee.
Well, yeah, I'm cool with Tennessee. And then I say Buffalo then, or the Patriots. Again, take the second place AFC East, take the second place AFC North. And then who's that 7 seed? The Chargers, maybe?
Browns. Again?
Well, no, I'm already counting the Browns. I'm counting the Browns.
So, wait, hold on. Where do we got the Browns?
Okay.
We got Kansas City, New England, Baltimore, Buffalo. I'm going to say Buffalo in the 4th.
Well, no,
Tennessee.
That wouldn't work though. Here, let me go through mine. So I would have Chiefs, Bills, Ravens. We'll say Titans for the AFC South, Patriots, Browns, and then you got the 7 seed. I'll say Chargers. I don't know. I don't think the Steelers are competitive. I don't think the Broncos are unless Teddy Bridgewater has a career year. I don't like the Raiders. I thought they were a fluke last year when they were making some noise. The Dolphins could be in that mix. I still don't super see it for that. I would say if you're picking between the Dolphins, Chargers, and Raiders, and maybe if you want to really take a shot in the dark, the Broncos.
I'm telling you, I really like.
It's 6 teams. If you believe in the Patriots, it's 6 teams. Dark blue gold. So it's leaked, but we can.
It's been quadruple confirmed.
We'll call it official. It officially comes out tonight, but this is the schedule that
technically nothing is official until a team said it's out there. But it's just like any other report that you see that's double confirmed.
Yeah,
through
it's official
journalism.
You can trust it.
Okay, so I really liked what Miami did in the draft. I thought their draft was unbelievably good.
I wasn't super high on it. I like Jalen Waddle.
The moon.
I like Jalen Waddle. I think it was a bit of a risk reward, right? High ceiling, low floor. If whether it's injuries or just the size not playing, same thing with Jalen Phillips. High ceiling, huge ceiling, really low floor. He gets another concussion, he might be done for life.
Right, but you know how we always talk about that. You have to lean towards that's not going to happen first until it happens.
Correct.
I mean, he's also a player you can plug in and be a starter right away and be good. I don't see him. He's not the kind of guy where it was like, okay, well, there's also some risk if you play him right away.
Right.
It's what you're getting with him. And then I love Javon Holland and Eichenberg. Man, I thought they plugged a million holes with really good players and not so much even huge holes. But you put Eichenberg on that offensive line, I start feeling a lot more confident about what they're doing on the offensive side of the ball.
I wouldn't rule out. I wouldn't call anyone dumb, anything like that. If they want to say the Dolphins would be the 7 seed, I'll lean Chargers. I think Dolphins are fine. I think if you believe in the Patriots, I think there's 6 teams in the AFC right now, and then that 7th is a bit of a crapshoot.
I think the AFC East. Then we have to be talking about it as the second most, probably the second most competitive division, right?
In the AFC, in the conference for sure. I think just to recap the teams, Chiefs, Sharpie, Bills, Sharpie, Ravens, like a heavy pen, not necessarily Sharpie, heavy pen.
Yeah.
Patriots, like a light pen.
A dark mechanical pencil. Really dark.
Good with that.
Yeah, it's got an eraser on it, but you're still going to see the outline if you try to erase.
I put the Browns right in that grouping too. And then a team has to come out of the AFC South. I don't feel good about any of them. Someone does though, just legally. So there's your 6.
It's got to be Tennessee, right? I mean, just
Tennessee or the Colts. I can see the Jaguars just mediocring their way to like an 8-9 tiebreaker division.
That would be
anyone but the Texans, basically. So then you go the other mediocre AFC South teams. The Steelers, I guess, would be in the mix if we're talking that level. Chargers, Raiders, Dolphins, even the Broncos. I think the only teams in the AFC you can definitively rule out for that 7 seed right now are the Jets, the Bengals, the Texans. That might be it.
Yeah.
So if you get that 2 seed, you're looking at whichever of that next tier, that middle tier of the AFC kind of just makes their way in. I don't hate a matchup against any of them. Again, Colts, Dolphins, we had wins over. Didn't play the Raiders, didn't play the Browns. Chargers, we think would be a close game, but we think they'd win. So
here's what I like about the schedule. I feel like you're getting all of the tough stuff at home. You're getting all the really. I mean, yeah, you had some tough road games at the Chargers, at Atlanta. Although we're talking about a team that was a 4 seed last year, and I picked them to lose that game just because it's a road, a road away game.
Thursday night football game, yeah.
Right, on Thursday night. But you're getting Tom Brady in the defending Super Bowl champs at home. Mm-hmm. You're getting Dallas, who we both think is going to be a legitimate contender in the NFC, at home. You're getting Cleveland at home. You're getting Tennessee at home. Yep. Obviously Buffalo.
Very true.
For one. I think it came out. I think that works out really well. It better, obviously than it could have. 12-5 and a nice path to a Super Bowl. Here we
Absolutely. Go. And then last thing, I believe it's the first one I've seen anyway. First round pick to be signed, but it's my boy Rashad Bateman signing with the Ravens. Just a heads up. Those of you that watch the mock draft show with me, Keegan, and Spags all offseason know that is my dude. So shout out him getting his money.
Yeah, let's go.
I think that'll wrap it up for us, though. So again, just to recap, you got the Patriots at 12-5. I've got them at 11-6. You've got them as like a 2-3 seed. I've got them as that top wild card spot. I still think the Bills are a half step above them, and the Chiefs are obviously in their own tier right now, really. But outside of that, I think they compete with anyone. I think the schedule does them. I don't think it does them favors outside of, again, the tougher games being at home, but it doesn't really hurt them at all either. So.
Yeah, I mean, last year's schedule was a bear.
Yes.
So
it's going to be nice to not have that.
Yeah. But I obviously I'm skewed a little more positive. I think the consensus is 10-7, 11-6, right? Yeah. That's what we're seeing.
Yeah. So you're slightly above that. I'm on the high end of that. I think my camera cut out here, but wrapping up, so I'm not going to fix it, to be honest.
Guys, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, that's pretty much all we got.
Yeah. All right. So stay tuned for any more Pats content as we're reaching the dead point of the season. Again, as we mentioned off the top, this is the last real milestone of the offseason. But we will be, if there's any significant news that comes, we'll be doing instant reaction. Pat Lane jumps all over those. If he can't, we fill in. So check that out. Him and Spags have Austin Gale from PFF on their podcast tonight at 9 p.m. So check that out. I believe they'll be live streaming it. If you can't check it out, check the podcast form afterwards. And we've got big video plans coming for the regular season. I was pushing it, throughout that whole mock draft show leading into the draft, but we've got big plans for the regular season. So it might be a little bit of a slow period when there's not a whole lot going on, but make sure you're following us on Twitch at Pats_Pulpit, twitch.tv/Pats_Pulpit, because we're going to be doing a lot of stuff over there as we get into it.
Yeah, and also, you talked about the downtime here. We're going to be putting together a lot more film stuff, a lot more knowledgeable film stuff, talking to some people about how to go about looking at what the Patriots are going to be doing coming up this year, what went wrong last year, personal stuff, general concepts. Taylor Kyles and myself will be breaking down a ton of film stuff over the course of the off season here to keep you guys keep something keep your NFL appetites going. So keeping a lookout for that over on the YouTube channel. And that's all I got. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good